I want you to listen to this, if you will. My friend Joel Pollack interviewing Bernie Kerik for a piece of this. Go.
Why did they subpoena you? What are you going to do about it?
Well, I honestly, I don't know why they subpoenaed me other than to harass and do what they've done in the past to others associated with the president. You know, they try to attack you personally, professionally, try to bankrupt you, and that's a part of what this is, I think. Why they subpoenaed me, I don't know, because they know I had nothing to do with January 6th. I had nothing to do with the Capitol. I had nothing to do with, I didn't know who put that thing together. I knew nothing about it. So the other problem I have, and this is a bigger problem to me, they actually fabricated in the congressional subpoena, they fabricated a meeting that I was supposed to be at on January 5th in Washington, D.C. They fabricated that meeting. They lied on a congressional subpoena. They used sources for that story. Like they said that, I was there on January 5th at a meeting, and they got that from Bob Woodward's book. Well, that was a lie. They said they got it from the Washington Post. That, too, was a lie. Bottom line is, I wasn't in Washington, D.C. on January 5th. I was in New York City. So they lied on a congressional subpoena. We've asked for a retraction. We've asked for them to take it off the congressional record, and they've outright refused.
Does that sound like they have any interest in being fair or due process or justice, period? No. This is, as I say, an old Soviet-style Stalinist Politburo type operation. That's what it is. They're there to do Nancy Pelosi's dirty work. That's all they're there to do. It's a hatchet job. And they're doing it with everybody. It's like they subpoenaed the former chief of staff to the president, Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows doesn't know anything about January 6th, and nobody knows anything about January 6th. I mean, they'll try and create insinuations and references and parallel situations and argument by comparison. But he was involved in what took place in the Capitol. The person who was actually involved was Nancy Pelosi. She failed to call in to accept the president's offer of the National Guard. The president offered 10,000. Now I hear 10 to 20,000, and that can all be stated on the record. But they're there to put out a slapdash report that will attack the president, that is Trump. Why? Why are they doing this? Because they're afraid he might run again. And they're just piling on. Why do they want his taxes? What is any legitimate purpose for Congress to have his taxes? None. They can spew their nonsense about we need to understand if the tax code's being enforced. But he's the only person they're doing it to. I mean, if you want to do that, then get Nancy Pelosi's tax records. Her husband's making a fortune while she's been speaker. Any conflicts there? Any overlap there? Well, let's find out. No, we're not interested in that. Why? Because they're doing the work of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is using the House and to some extent the Senate, but clearly Pelosi and our tax dollars as a political operation. That's why they impeached the president twice. That's why they pushed this Russia collusion nonsense. That's why they held the kind of hearings they held. And that's what they're doing now, whether it's tax returns or this January 6th, trying to tie it all to him. There's criminal investigations that have been taking place at the Department of Justice that says they've poured more resources into this than anything else in their history. Now think about how stupid that is. Think about how ridiculous that is. Think about how dictatorial that is. Oh, they're basically, investigating Republicans. The criminal division and so forth, the U.S. Attorney's Office at the Department of Justice has this handled, and they're handling it in a very poor way. But my point is, Congress has no role. What is it that they're trying to get to we want to know what happened. Well, you've got the Department of Justice, or more likely the Department of Injustice. They get to look. But this committee's not going to get to the bottom of anything. Look at the net that they've thrown everywhere. And Steve Bannon and Steve Bannon's lawyer is right. I had Steve Bannon's lawyer on my radio show, and he was excellent. And I've gotten to know him. He's absolutely excellent. And he said, among other things, he was talking about Bannon, the fact that they indict him without even putting together a list of what they want or going to civil court to require the production or anything of that sort. No adjudication whatsoever is unheard of. It's unprecedented. One of the things I said to him, and he said, yeah, I agree. You need to fire back. You need to go on offense. You need to get all the documents they have that serve as the basis for subpoenaing him. That this committee is not a grand jury. There is no federal Rule 6E that prevents them from releasing information. They can release all the information. There's no deal with the Department of Justice, nothing of that sort. So tell Bannon or anybody else you call up there the basis for the subpoena. And he agreed with me. And he went right ahead. And he said, we want all these documents. And here's the interesting thing. About a dozen news organizations have joined Bannon's defense in asking for the information because they say this is about transparency too. And you know what the response was? The Department of Justice apparently representing this committee. We don't want to turn this into a media circus. You don't get to decide whether this is a media circus. This is about the rights of a defendant. You indicted him, and he wants the information. This is also about the rights of the American people to know what the hell's going on here, because we saw a hell of a lot worse all through that summer. And we didn't see the FBI putting out statements saying we're applying more resources than ever before to investigate Black Lives Matter and Antifa and the other criminals and rioters who destroyed our cities, killed people, and still threaten people to this day.
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to LevinTV.com and subscribe now.